Hi, are you wondering about how you can help your child or your children make informed career decisions? If so, this is the channel for you. Join us as we source legends from different career fields to come and share with us their experience in the field and what to expect and what to look out for. And we believe that in doing so, we are helping learners get equipped with all the skills and the knowledge that they need, so they can also avoid being stuck in a day-to-day job that they're not happy with. As always, I'm your host, Libo Chibase, and welcome to today's episode. On our today's episode, we are joined by an interesting character who is a father and a chief data scientist at Analytics Advertising, of which is the company that he has founded. And this company has worked with bigger companies like PPC, Ecoca, Otis, DSTV. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a whole lot of long list. That's why I have to read. So please just bear with me. MTN, Pro Neutral, Safari, Orchard, Yuvani, Sasco, Wheatbix, Inglaba Biotech, Hunters Gold, Hunters Dry. Ladies and gentlemen, without wasting time, I would like to welcome Mr. Talifhani Banks, aka Mr. Banks, who is here to share with us about what it means to be a continuous learner and what you really need to look out for to become the person that you really want to be. And he also outlines the importance of readings. Ladies and gentlemen, please do watch till the end, as there's a lot to learn. And I hope that you benefit a lot from this. And sit tight and enjoy. Hi, Mr. Banks. Welcome to another episode of Complacency Learning. How are you doing today? I mean, this
I
evening.
am well. I am well, my brother. How are
Uh,
you?
they say every day above the ground is a very amazing day. So we need to feel amazing so we can do amazing things, you know. So I really cannot complain. Yeah. So before we start, I just would like
Yes,
for me and the listeners to know who Mr. Banks is. So if you don't mind, can you tell us who Mr. Banks is?
Mr. Banks,
Mm,
Talifhani Mamafha from Louis Richard,
mm,
Old Town, grew up in the
mm,
streets, building
mm,
business. I was helping my mother into business and I fell in love with business.
mm,
Went to study at University of Pretoria. I worked at corporate, Massmart, Pick and
mm,
Pay, AutoZone, Groher,
mm,
and I'm now running analytics advertising, the
mm,
modern day largest corporation in marketing.
mm,
We are a marketing consulting firm,
mm,
and we've got some of the most big corporate brands and
mm,
emerging brands,
mm,
and also small business.
mm,
So I believe we are tapping and kickstarting trend,
mm,
and that's who I am. Building brands. That's what we
mm,
do. Yes.
And also, I believe that now you're a chief data scientist at Analytics Advertising, right?
Yes,
So,
sir.
so speaking of that career, obviously now in becoming the person you are today, there's things that you had to endure, there's things that you had to discover along the way. So, if I may ask, what is the one thing that you wish you had known before you began your career as a chief data scientist?
The one thing I wish I had known
Mm-hmm.
is the importance of programming.
Mm-hmm.
Programming is so important
Mm-hmm.
because in the digital world, if you understand programming, you will leverage from it.
Mm-hmm.
But what stops most people to be digital, to make money digitally, is because of their ability to use programs and
Mm-hmm.
just advanced computer literacy, basically.
Mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm. And like you've said on our previous chats that as you try to build yourself into this person that you would like to be, right? There's also things that come along the way, and that's failures, and failures can be painful, and I believe that with pain can either do two things to you, right? It can either break you or you can take it and learn from it, right? And speaking of that, there were failures along the way. So if I may ask, what was the biggest failure and what did you learn from it?
I had a lot of failures.
Mm,
I had a lot of failures. They are continue, and I'm still failing every day. I think
mm,
right now I'm aware that
mm,
failure is mixed with success.
mm,
It's just that there's a cost benefit analysis.
mm,
The more you fail, then you win big. Then the more
mm,
you fail, it's a combination. They go together. But the times that I feel I failed is when I couldn't provide for my family, when I didn't have money for that petrol to just go to a meeting at 9 o'clock and I'm already ready at 7.
mm,
and I have to ask money from my wife, and she's already, I can see already she's down and out, and I'm already still insisting. I felt like I failed at that time, and I wanted to change that. But the other part where I felt I failed is um, I just want to be able to combine. I just want to have more time for my kids. Now I live in the business world that you can see I have time for them, but I'm not as, I want to have that quality time. I want to switch off, but I feel like I'm still failing. I need to improve in quality time with my family. But the more I grow, it's becoming more impossible. So the more I invest time, it will come right.
Well, they say adulting is not easy. Hey, we used to wonder why our
It's
parents
not,
never had time for us, but we're like,
yeah,
yeah, but now as we grow, we start to understand it, that everything that they were doing, they were actually doing it for us. But also
yeah,
as children, you must remember also that they need their parents' love. Otherwise, that's when they go, if they don't get that love or that attention from home, they go and display it at school. And then they become unruly because whatever they do at school, they're just doing it for attention. Right. So, but speaking of that, I'm really happy to see the kind of a father you are, and that also you would like to devote more time to them. Right. One day they're gonna watch this and they would understand. Right.
they're gonna
So
watch this and know, where we're coming from.
yeah, definitely without a doubt.
I
Eh?
don't, I
Mm.
don't think they will understand at the time, but I hope they do.
Yeah. They have no choice.
Because our kids are gonna grow up as rich kids, right?
Yeah, and that's
So there's
what.
certain things they won't know because
Mm,
we have provided for them. So
mm,
I just wish I'm still like, every time I take them
mm,
home, I take them to place I want them to experience. That's the
mm,
best I can do, but they won't leave it the way we lived it. We didn't have an
mm,
option.
mm,
I
mm,
want to still bring that, but I
mm,
will see.
mm. Never raise your kids the way you were raised, eh? Make it better.
Yeah,
You know.
make it better,
So
100%. Yeah,
and I'm sure
I feel
out
that.
there,
I took that.
I'm sure out there there's a lot of people who are being inspired by the things that you're doing for your family and everything, right?
Yes,
But
and my
and
parenthood.
also
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
awesome. And also from what you do, like the kind of career that you have, right? And for those that would like to go for the same career as the one that you are in right now, what advice can you give to them?
I believe data science is the future. It's the
Mm,
only career at this point that you must be thinking about,
mm,
because as the world moves digitally, if
mm,
you're a data science, you will know how to
mm,
interpret data. You will
mm,
know how to make analysis and know
mm,
which model to use,
mm,
because there's so many careers. But as a data
mm,
science, you learn
mm,
to understand the model of demand and supply. So you know you don't go where there's too much supply,
mm,
because
mm,
everywhere where there's too much supply, price is low. So
mm,
you will know how to differentiate yourself from different models. You'll know how to live like an analyst in your everyday life. I
mm,
believe, say, data science is the future. It's the modern day way of career. You can make a way of living with it. You can help people with not just having a job, but outside you can help people analyze their models or whatever they're working on, and make
yeah.
millions.
And also speaking
Yeah.
of the models and also looking at the person that you are right now, I believe that didn't just magically happen overnight. There's things that you had to consult, the resources, the books that you had to read. So which brings me to this question. What are the resources? What are the best resources that have helped you along the way? And also what have you like read or listened to recently that have inspired you?
To be honest, I just wish people could get me.
Mm,
I'm not I'm a good reader, but I'm not a good reader at the same time. There are
mm,
people who enjoy reading. I'm a
mm,
good listener,
mm,
and I like watching. I'm a
mm,
visual person.
mm,
So I enjoy using YouTube to get content or to consume content. So
mm,
from university, I learned that my way of learning is through
mm,
watching. So I used to study through YouTube,
mm,
and that's where I stumble on Steve Jobs,
mm,
Les Brown, all these great people, man. Like
mm,
they're great, powerful people. I met
mm,
Robert Greene,
mm,
the 48. I started buying the books, 48 Laws of Power, Mastery, 50th Law.
mm,
Now I just finished the 48. What's this? The Laws of Human Nature. The other book that was powerful to me was this book called Rework. It teaches you how to reorganize things. It's actually my Bible. I have it in my bag. My son just took my bag, but it's called Rework. I've got it in my bag. I've been reading this book since 2016.
Wow.
It's a powerful book. Yeah. It teaches you how to work. Don't work like the old way of living. If what you have now, if you just have a phone and a laptop, use that. Use what you have. Like, don't think about that. If you don't even afford anybody, or if you can afford yourself, just do enough to get a client and move forward. That's what it says. That book is powerful, man. I have it in the book. If it was the bag was closed, I was gonna show you.
They're gonna think, yeah, because I think I'm gonna have a look at it. I mean, but by the way, I mean, I like the way you even talking about it. Like, I'm sure there's a whole lot of things to learn, you know. So rework.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. And also speaking of, you did mention that now you've used YouTube as one of your resources, right? And that's when you stumbled upon the people who inspire you to do great, like Les Brown and the other things, Steve Jobs and people like that, right? So speaking of people that who influence you, let me ask you, who are the 3 people that have been the most influential to you?
That's a good question. That's a good question. To be honest with you, the first person who inspired me in my life was 50 Cent. 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah.
Album I headed. Get Rich or Die Trying, my man. That's what I could hear. And from that album, I picked up, there was a part on this song called Many Men. He was like, I'm the diamond in the dead. I haven't been found.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been found.
Underground king, that ain't been crowned.
I'm the underground king. I haven't been found.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I felt like I was an underground king. I hadn't been crowned then. You know, and as I keep on listening to 50, I came upon Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs taught me a lot. And then I came to Les Brown. Les Brown made me quit. But I now have like Jay-Z's and them that really inspired me. But the top guys that I can live with without anybody else is this one. Can live with 50, can live with Les Brown, I can live with Steve Jobs. Yeah.
So wow, that's a great list of great people, eh? Like I mean, like I was also inspired by some of them. Like there's a whole lot of things that you can learn from what they say. Sometimes you just think maybe they just want to flash all these lies to us.
Yes.
And then that time they're helping us, we just don't even realize it, you know, because
just don't realize it.
Yeah, we're busy hating, you know.
Yes, we're busy hating on the progress and there's some things we don't have to take everything they do, but we can take a little bit and learn from it. I mean, I'm like a diamond in the dead. I haven't been found like an underground king. I haven't been crowned.
Yo, such words are powerful. Such words are powerful. Yes. Such words are powerful.
I feel like Ali in his prime. In his prime.
One of the greatest alive. One of the greatest that have lived, you know.
Yes. You see, so that's what really sparked there's something here. There's something here. And when I used to watch his music videos, Many Men, 21 Question, I looked at it, I was like, this is powerful, man. You know? And I thought I was gonna be an artist, but I was going to be in advertising. I was gonna apply whatever I saw there. Yeah.
Plus, like the spirit of entrepreneurship for you, it came at a very early age. Like you started helping your moms there with the spaza, and then the next thing you started enjoying buying grocery, like buying stuff to sell. You know,
buying stuff to sell. You know, I was listening to Hustler's Ambition. Hustler's Ambition while doing this, you know.
While doing that,
But listening to Windows Shopper, you know. You know what I mean? I was a window shopper at that time. I used to walk to Edgar's. I would walk. I don't know if you've been to LTT. You see, it's just one road. So I would walk up, walk to the Edgar's, come back, and then I go home because I was a window shopper straight up.
And then the next thing you fit some of those items there, and then now that it's time to pay and you can't afford them, you just come up with a story like, if you had this in this color, then I would take it. Or if maybe you had a blazer that matches it, then I would take it. Because it's like, you just I'll come back, but it's just that now things are, it's like we can't admit that, you know, it's rough because we don't want to be judged, you know. Because I was also thinking, I'm like, if I learned, let's say I don't have money, one of those times when I used to like struggle to have money in my account, right? I would sit down and be like, if I was to score a meeting with somebody very important and they say we have to meet, obviously it's gonna be at a restaurant. Without money,
how
what
am I gonna
do? And then I started thinking that, you know what, I think that I can do with washing the pots.
Yes, you see.
You just go, you tell them, I don't have money, can I wash the pots to pay you?
Yes.
And then you live to love
100%.
those moments. When you meet somebody who's been through the same thing, you talk about it. It even becomes funnier than when you're telling somebody who has not even
Yes.
been there.
Than
You know?
how it was when you were experiencing.
Yeah.
Because now you realize actually all
Mm.
of us went through this.
Yeah.
I used to go to Galaga Estate. My office is next to Galaga Estate, actually. So I used to go there for MWay in 2013. Yeah. 2013, I used to go, I was doing this MWay network marketing thing.
Oh, I've heard of
And
it
they
before.
were talking big things. What. At that time, I told myself, one day I'm going to have an office around here. I'm going to have an office around. Today I have it, but it's not coming through MWay. So MWay was not a model for me.
Yeah.
You see, but whatever you go through will teach you or show you a direction.
Yeah. That's why they say every failure is a lesson, eh? I mean,
Amen.
you have talent, you have abilities. Why invested in helping somebody become the person that you want to be when you can invest it in yourself? You know, I believe that's something that we should also, wake up to and realize that, what, time is moving. It's not even waiting for any of us, right? So now, for every profession, there's like a myth, right? Like, for example, one would say that if you want to be in the IT department, you need to at least maybe have a computer at an early age so you can understand more about computers. Like when we hear IT, we only think computers. We don't think big data. We don't think all those other stuff that you've mentioned that come with the IT. Right. So if I may ask, what is the one common myth that you would like to expose the falseness of in terms of data science?
My biggest myth is people will say, no, you need to be highly qualified to do this, to be highly qualified. You need to have a master's to do, you need to have an MBA. I see people saying that, and it annoys me. And now it's a myth because how did I build a multi-million rand corporation if I don't have those things? I don't even need them anymore. I don't need them because in my mind, I don't want to teach people that you need them to make it. You don't need them. It's a myth that you need a PhD. It's good that you to have it, but we need to realize learning is continuous. We need to continue learning. But now we are not learning to be rewarded. We are learning to keep on applying. So I learn to apply, not to be rewarded by anything. But you will see it through the company. We are now having 15 specialists. By May, June, we're going to have 20 people. How much salaries are we paying? Because we have data scientists in there, we have engineers in there. How much salaries are we paying? There's another lady who joined us with a PhD. You see, so how much are we paying? So I don't believe you need a master's, you need this to make it. I just feel like it's part of it. If you feel like you just need to get it, but I don't feel like it's a must.
When they say something is well exposed, we're talking about this myth right here. You just exposed it, to a point that it
you tell me. Here's an example. Between analytics and advertising and somebody who wrote a PhD or a thesis, and he explained how to build an advertising consulting company in analytics. He write it in a way nicely into paper. Which one would you choose between me and that person?
I choose you. I choose you because there's practical stuff that I'm going to learn. You already have that mindset. So this one with the PhD probably has a full-time job and is not even applying what he's preaching. You get what I'm saying?
He's talking theory. We are not sure if what he's saying is going to work.
Yeah. There was this other thing that was going on social media where they were saying that my friend just wrote a book on how to make money and now he needs money to publish it.
You must go use this. You must go read his book.
You must go read his book.
Yeah, I must go read his book.
Yeah. No, I absolutely I'm with you on that one actually. Right. 100%. So now I'm sure I've tried to ask the best questions as possible. And now if I may ask you, what is the one thing that you would have asked yourself that I did not ask you if you were in my shoes?
I would have asked me what took you to get here. What is driving you to get here? Because I believe that's question. I believe that's cool.
A lot can even learn from that question.
Yeah. You've asked me great questions, but I feel like that's another additional one. What's driving you to get here? And to be honest, what's driving me to be here, to be honest, is God. I'm a highly spirited person. I believe in God. But people can view God in different ways. But that spirituality that you have, that's what I'm talking about, that connection, because that's what will sustain you during hard times. When you are going through a lot and things are just not connecting, you would have that faith, to keep going. When you are supposed to pay salaries and the clients are just not paying, you won't beat yourself up. You would kneel down and pray. The next thing when you open your eyes, there's notifications showing you money. What happened? That's the faith I'm talking about. The faith of Abraham, the one he took his kid to make him a sacrifice and is about to sacrifice him. The opportunity came. That's what I'm talking about. On last minute. That's what I'm working on. So I don't care if somebody says, I don't think he's gonna make it because of this and that. They don't understand that this is just the sacrifices I had. I don't have to have it here. You don't have to see it. You see what I mean? But what's driving me is that the true faith of Abraham. 100%.
And also Steve Jobs in one of his many videos, not Steve Jobs, Steve Harvey. Why do I keep saying Steve Jobs when I want to say Steve Harvey? He did say in his
Steve Harvey is powerful.
He is very powerful. He did say that you need to put God first if you want everything to go the way you want to. And also you need to stop telling him how to bless you. He knows how to bless you. So he knows what you want just before you've asked. Like the book of Jeremiah 29 verse 11 that says, for I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, and plans to give you hope and a future. Right. So like God has shown me very great things. Like I like the spirit of an entrepreneur. Like while you're still making it, there's times where you wonder, where am I gonna get the next meal from? How am I gonna pay for the rent? How am I gonna buy for this electricity since my units are running out? And all those things that I was worried about, they just came as I was moving.
They just came. They came. Even if they came on the last day, but they came.
I sleep when I sleep. Before I sleep, my stomach is like about to explode. That's how God created is, because He has fed me with so much more than I've asked. Like He's a great God. So now. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would like to connect with you. Like I was even inspired in the first place to even connect with you, and hence I reached out to you. All right. So to those that would like to connect with you online, where can they do that?
LinkedIn, Talifhani Banks, Instagram, Talifhani Banks or Mr. Banks, Facebook, Talifhani Banks. I'm only on those 3 platforms or my WhatsApp.
And also, what about the analyticsadvertising.com?
Yeah, analyticsadvertising.com. You know why I don't sell it is because it's for B2B, it's for corporate. I believe like people want, if you come to my platform, you will learn more about it, but I don't talk about it because I'm talking I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm trying to just be authentic, honest, and I try not to sell from these conversations because I'm coming from heart. But and my business come to me through that, just being authentic and being real.
And also I have to add to that, hey, like I've seen the website. There's like I said, it's very great, and there's also the content that is there. So I agree with you when you say there's a lot to learn in there. All right. So now one of my favorite questions that I ask, of which is actually my last question, right, is the word learning. You did mention from earlier on that we learn every day, right? We learn through challenges, we learn through failures, we learn through happiness, of every state of mind that we could be in. Like we learn every time. Basically, learning never stops, right? And I believe that most of us sometimes when we want to learn, we quit on that process because we feel that it's a long process, or it's probably not going to get us where we want for it to take us, because first of all, we live by seeing. Like we believe what we see. We don't believe in the faith, right? So what we see is stronger than our faith, and I believe it should be the other way around, right? So
100%.
yes. So the word learning, what does it mean to you?
It's continuous. Learning is continuous, and we shouldn't learn to be approved by anyone, because when there isn't any platform to approve you anymore, you will stop. Because if people think I don't read, how did I got here? Because I'm reading every day to perfect this model. But I'm no longer reading to be approved, or I've got a PhD or a master's. I'm reading to build a business, and my business shows that I'm reading. You know, I think learning is continuous. Let's continue to read, but let's not read to pass time. Like we're reading to understand, reading to apply, you know. If I was reading to pass time, I wouldn't be here because I wouldn't know how to apply data science into marketing. I was still getting that 60. I'm not an A student from tax. I'm not an A student, but I'm a C student who understand what's going on. And I think we read to understand. Let's continue learning to understand, and let's apply our learnings. Yeah.
And you can be quite amazed from what you can learn from reading. It can actually even build your confidence, eh? Because I mean that's what most of us like, and it even encourages you to actually face your fears. Because it's hard to face our fears these days with these rejections and disappointments, and sometimes when we don't do best, we feel like you know what, I ruined it, forgetting that, you know, it's
Tell
not
me,
supposed to be
let
best.
me give you another example. Who do you think can reject Makazi right
Who do you think can reject Makazi? I don't think anybody can do that, eh? I
now?
don't
That's what
think
I'm talking
I
about.
don't
Build
I
your
don't think
brand.
anybody can
Build
do
your
that.
build your brand.
Yeah.
Build your brand. When you have a brand, nobody will
Yeah.
reject you at all.
True. And also these books that you've mentioned, they actually help you with that. Hey, so as long as you're reading those ones in the business section, right? And somebody was also telling me the last what you call this guest that I had, which was Kapil Moon from India. He did mention that you need to also read psychological books, because psychological books, they help you understand your client's behavior, the consumer's behavior, or people around you. So of which I find that very important. Like reading, we should just keep reading so we can keep learning. Right. So so I've asked you all the questions that I actually asked my guests. So if I would ask, right, is there anything that you would like to add, be it about what you do, the things that you're involved with, and what you're currently working on, you know?
I would say we're working with amazing brands. We are growing. We are no longer a small business. We are no longer as like a startup. You know, we are an emerging company. We are the modern day large corporation. I look forward to get more smart people in the business, whether you're an actuarial scientist, you're an informatics graduate, or you are an econometrics, economics, or a psychologist. I think we're gonna work together in the future. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's amazing. You
Yeah.
know, now that we've come to the end of this episode, I just want to say to you, I know we live in a very busy world where it's so hard for us to actually, you know, sit and help other people, you know, steer them in the right direction. Because at the end, like in the first place, we also don't have time to do things that are important. That's why we end up sleeping late and so forth. And like now, we're having this, like looking at the time, it's like 10 o'clock. So I just want to say for that, I really, really thank you for making time to actually come and steer myself and others in the right direction. It really means a lot. I mean, they say the hearts that you touch are the proof that you've lived, you know.
Amen. I
So,
feel that.
so
I feel that.
yeah. So that's what keeps me going, actually.
The hearts that you have touched is a
Yeah.
proof that you live.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I feel
It
that.
is. I heard it
Wow.
from one of these. I think it was Beyonce's song, where she was saying, "I wanna leave my footprints on the sands of time." It's something to
Yeah.
remember. I forgot what they call that thing.
And that's
The
she
name of
speaks
the
high level
song.
knowledge.
Yeah, she does. She does. Yeah, and also her husband. Yeah, her husband. There's this one thing that he said that
Jay-Z,
actually,
man.
that he said that actually made me really understand this whole thing. He said that when people tell you that you can't do one, two, three, it's not that they really believe that you can't. Deep down, they know that you can. They're just projecting their fears on you.
Yes,
You
the
know,
projecting your fears.
yeah,
I
yeah,
learned a lot from that guy actually.
yeah,
I don't know why I didn't
yeah,
put him in the top three.
yeah.
He's one of the best that taught me the game.
Yeah, he is like he is like
Yeah.
the amount of passion, the dedication that he has, like look at where he is now.
Yeah.
Like people that put in really amount of work, they go far. Like this guy was even telling me that the only difference between rich people and poor people, okay, not poor people per se, but people those that have had opportunities and wasted them, is time
Hmm.
management. Time
Yeah,
management.
I would
Rich
believe that.
people are busy thinking abnormal, whereas other people are just thinking normal. I just want to go do my job. That's it. Done. Go
Yeah.
spend time with
They
my
hate
family.
Monday.
Yeah, they hate Mondays. And for me, you know, when it's Friday, I'm like, man, really? But when it's Monday, I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, because
Yes, back
I
to business.
you see, I wake up, do these
Yeah.
home-based exercises, get myself to start off the day on a good note, because once you wake up, you get your heart pumping. That's like on its own. It's like you starting the day on a very good note. You don't have one of those, I'm having a bad day, I'm having one, two, three. Once you start to have a bad day, it's like everything just goes south. Like you would say, like somebody is behind it, and that time it's not. It's just you. If you've listened to one of these Steve Harvey's when he was talking about the positive and the negative part of the brain, that if you wake up and then you're feeling so sad, and then the positive, like your brain is divided into two, right? There's that positive and the negative. So when you wake up, you're like, not again, it's so morning. So the leader from this negative side, he gets up and says, yo, Steve said he's not having a wonderful morning, and then let's get to work. And then they work, everything goes bad throughout that day. But if you wake up and like, wow, thank you for another great day, then that means those ones on the positive side, they say, yo, gents, Steve just said he's feeling great. Let's get to work, and then everything just becomes productive throughout the whole day.
Okay, amazing, amazing. I haven't heard it. I'm
You
gonna
haven't
check
had
it
it.
out.
Yeah, in one of these videos that he posts on YouTube is like, it's great. You should
He's
check
a
them out.
powerhouse. He's a powerhouse. He also
Yeah,
made me quit
yeah,
corporate because he said you gotta
yeah.
jump. At some point, you gotta jump.
You have to.
If you don't jump, man, your parachute
Mm,
won't open.
because
You gotta start looking at this life as
mm,
you know what I mean. So I know he's very
mm.
deep. Yeah, and I
It's very
connected
good.
with him. And
Yeah,
yeah,
that's why I even mentioned this part that you need to get comfortable being uncomfortable,
uncomfortable.
because
Yeah,
success is a very
it's not
long,
comfortable.
very sad
The journey.
road, I mean journey, that like you need to have what it takes. Like it's not a matter, because I know like now people, we live in a world where when you hear the word entrepreneur, you're thinking, yo, big money, you think, yo, I'm cool. But now when you really get into it,
You feel it. You feel it.
things get real. Things like really get
Yeah,
real. Like car
yeah,
gets stuck. Now you have to go to the garage, buy that
yeah,
petrol with that 2 liter or something. If you don't get it, then you're forced to buy from there. And that time you're walking like two
yeah,
kilometers or
yeah.
something.
You buy from the boys. From the
Yeah.
boys. Yeah,
Yeah. But for me, when these things happen, I just laugh at myself and say they're about to happen. I mean, they're meant to happen. This is, and then I tell God that this is, I know this is you. You're preparing me to receive what you have for me. Because if without this,
exactly.
then I'll just get it and just blow it away, or maybe I won't even realize the opportunities when they're in front of me. Right.
Yeah.
So so from that, yeah, like I really have to say that yeah, it's quite like you need to
Thank you.
see the positive in the bed, from the bed, not
Yeah.
the bed from the good. You get what I'm saying? So
Mm,
yeah,
yeah.
um,
I
but
feel that.
again,
That's
that
powerful.
it is. I also I get
Mm.
these things from reading. So yeah,
Yes,
like
yes.
you said, you
I
learn
know.
through reading.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you sustain it. You sustain
Mm,
it because you now have
mm,
heard it from someone. So it
mm.
means you're not alone.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that is true. But other than that, I really gained more valuable insights, especially into data science. Like I didn't really know what it was about, but now you've actually mentioned it. And also what you do, I have to say it's quite great, because I mean the more companies you help is the more job opportunities you create. And for that
Yeah.
you actually reducing employment rates.
Yeah.
So I think life orientation people should give scenarios about you. When it comes to
At some point, I think
unemployment,
they're gonna.
employment. Yeah.
At some point, because I got tired of economists and econometrics and all these
Mm,
guys. They say
mm,
no, petrol is going down, unemployment is increasing. What are you
yeah.
doing about it? So me, I'm
Yeah.
solving it. I'm in
It's
the field.
solving it. Mm, mm.
Yeah, but we'll
Yeah.
see. One day they're gonna honor us. Yeah.
They will definitely. And I mean, also
Mm.
looking at like it's my first time reaching out to you, but already I feel so comfortable speaking to you. I mean, that
Yes.
means that the relationship that you have with your clients is, and also with the
Yeah.
people
It's
around you,
genuine.
it's amazing and it's
Yeah.
genuine. And I
Yeah.
think that's what we look out for. Like I mean, it's welcoming. Right. So that's
Yes.
why also
Thank
like I
you.
was from what I was reading, they said, the handshake, like from that book that I was telling you about, leaders eat last. Right.
Mm.
So it says like imagine if maybe you were to sign a deal. Let's say maybe you're signing a deal with one of these big corporates, and then they don't give you a handshake to welcome you. You're gonna go in there thinking that I'm expected to do one, two, three. It's not gonna be an easy road. Like your emotions they start to run high, so that
Mm.
because you
You're
want
not
you
welcome. You feel
yeah,
like
they didn't welcome you, but the moment they give you a handshake, it's like you relax. It's like you
you
feel
feel at
so
home.
welcome that you can even now
Mm.
release the best version of yourself. Right. So yeah, because I was saying talking about the importance of handshake, but right now I'm just linking it to the importance of being approachable. It comes down to that as well. So I'm like really I'm truly happy and I'm truly honored to have you as our guest and also to have these amazing conversations with you. We have come to the end of today's episode, and thank you for watching till the end. It is such a valuable information that Mr. Banks has shared with us, and we do believe that it can help steer a lot of us into the right direction. And if you'd like to get in touch with him, be it for wanting to know more about what he does and to also be as much as inspired as he is, ladies and gentlemen, please do so at the details provided at the bottom of the screen. And in doing so, please remember to like and subscribe so you are notified when a new episode is posted. Basically, you do not miss any episode from us. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to wish you nothing but the very best of luck in everything that you do. And may everything that you touch turn into gold or diamond or what you wish for it to be. My name is Libo Chivasa, signing out until next time, and please stay tuned.